What's going on, guys? Chris with Journal Comics here. I'm actually sitting in front of the camera for the first time in a video to do a contest entry for Don the Comic Book Junkie. I just thought it would be more appropriate for me to actually be facing the camera here. So Don the Comic Book Junkie, before I actually go into kind of some history here in terms of me being a fan of his channel, I just want to tell you guys that he's having a 1,000 subscription plus contest, and this portion, it's going to be a little bit of a long video, but it's going to be definitely you know, I think fun. We're going to go over a lot of different things here because what he asked was so unique, and you know, it wasn't just one or two little things to show off. It was a lot of fun things. So hopefully I'll be including some other players in this video as well. But I just want to go over some of the basic things that he asked here first, and I'm going to go over each question one at a time. So first off, I just want to start with why do I watch Don? Now, to be honest, I started watching YouTube videos that had anything to do with comics because last year I was trying to build a this right here, this a custom comic book shelving unit, and as you're gonna see later in the video what I ended up building. So I started going on YouTube and googling, you know, custom comic book shelving units and whatnot, and that's what started me into the whole comic book community and finding how people really are just sharing their comic books and sharing how they collect and their hobbies and everything. And Don was one of the first people that I had found, and I believe it was because during this whole time as well, I wanted to, well, I was watching these channels and I started seeing how people bagged and boarded their books, and I'm like, oh, they're so clean, and I'm a little OCD with, like, I like my books to be crisp and fresh. So I saw how these comic books looked, and I started Googling. I learned about Mylar, which I didn't really know anything about before. So I started Googling it, and one of the videos that came up was a video that Don did about Mylar versus poly bags. And I just thought it was pretty awesome. He was so informative, and his energy was great. And I just started watching some of his videos. And so yeah, so he was one of the first people I saw, and I will say, you know, I subscribe to so many people just because I want to, you know, be involved in the community as much as I can. Some people I don't get to watch many videos of, and it's not necessarily because I don't want to, it's just hard to get to everyone, but I will say there are those few that stick out that I really stick with, and Don is one of them. Again, his energy is great. He's a diehard collector, and you can tell. You know, and he's been doing it for a while, and he's just so informative, and I love what he brings to the table when he talks about his hauls and whatnot. So yeah, good job, Don. He did ask too, what could Don improve on? I mean, to be honest, this is a tough one for me because, you know, I've watched so many of his videos. I think he has improved. I think he's changed. He just changed his room into a better setting, so that's cool. He usually has really good lighting. Sometimes there's glares, but hey, I think that's for all of us. It's tough. It's tough. But for me, I really like to see the covers and the colors on the covers pop and whatnot. So he usually has really good lighting. If I would have to say one thing, this is not necessarily an improvement, but just a suggestion. He's such a huge Star Wars fan, and so am I, that maybe I would like to hear more videos specifically Star Wars related. Maybe, you know, more. I know he shared a really good memory of going to see one of the Star Wars with his dad, which was great. So maybe some more history about what, you know, Star Wars means to you, Don, how you became a fan of it as a kid, and things like that. That would be cool. So, alright, moving on here. Why do I collect comic books? Man, you know, I had a huge influence by my older brother, who was 2 years older than me, and his friends. And they really pulled me in, I think. I was a huge Ninja Turtle fan. I think even before I started really getting into comic books, and that pulled me in because I started collecting the Ninja Turtle comic books. But my brother and his friends were big Marvel fans, Superman, I mean anything during that time. And this is like, you know, 80s, late 80s, early 90s when I really started getting into it. And for me though, as I grew and what it's meant to me, I'm an artist, so I love the art. I mean, just in general, like I collect the, you know, when I was a kid, I collected the Marvel Universe cards, the trading cards and everything. So it's not just the books and the stories, but it's the art that goes along with it. I love it. I love the art. So the collector in me collects books. Like if I'm fishing through some books and I see a cover that I like, I will get it just because, you know, the cover appeals to me in terms of the artwork. So that's one reason. And then of course, you know, the stories. I mean, I think superheroes, I know all comic books aren't superheroes, but just talking about superheroes, they bring something, a part of something that's within all of us that I think we thrive to be, which is bigger than life. You know, it makes us question our mortality and you know, kind of what we strive to do beyond our physical abilities. And I think at the same time, superheroes show the vulnerabilities. Like, you know, take Batman for instance. He's not a superhuman. He's a regular human being. And in what he does and how he wants to give back to the world and what he thinks that him as an individual, how he can help the world for the better. I mean, you know, these are all things that are relatable. But and then thirdly, you know, outside of just the superhero stories, but any kind of comic book, I think the stories with the art. You know, I'm a big movie fan just because of the visuals that movies bring. But yet, when it comes to books, you know, sometimes movies can take away what books give, where that imagination piece. But then comic books, I believe, kind of balance that. You get the visual, but yet you get the reading aspect of it, and it's kind of like the best of both worlds. So when I was, you know, really young, collecting was just a big thing to me. Between comic books, baseball cards. When I became a teenager, I kind of went down, you know, a pretty dark path there, and I stopped like everything I was involved with. Sports, I played baseball until I was 13, basketball, doing my art. I actually started making my own comic books, and that just brought up, I should probably show those off sometime. I still have some. I would create, me and a friend in elementary school created our own comic book characters, and would you know, fold the paper in half, staple it together, and create our own little comic books. I did a whole run of this character called Tidal Wave, and I still have the book, so I gotta show those off sometime. But yeah, when I got into high school, it was a mess, and you know, luckily I came out of it. I graduated high school, and when I was like 18 and 19, I started trying to get my life back on track. But I was heavily involved in my music at that point, and I actually got signed to a label a few years later, and I actually quit my day job and did my music and toured for a couple years. And but it was when I had my kids that got me back into comic books, and this was in 2005. And I remember it was right around the Civil War hype and everything, so it was really a good time for me to kind of get back into it. So I remember at that point I still had all my comic books like at my parents' house. So I called her up and said, hey, you know, I need to get all my boxes. I came and I got them, and from there on, I mean, from that point it was on again, and I was back into it. And I actually went back and read every Spider-Man comic ever published, the main series, like going back to the Amazing Fantasy number 15. I bought all the these, if you can see those, the essential books. Read all the old books, got the whole run of Web of, the whole run of Spectacular almost, and I just read. So it was pretty awesome. And then you know, another big thing that keeps me in it is my kids, and it allows me to you know, have something to do with my kids. It allows my kids to be involved in something positive, and it's a good time that we can have together and everything. So again, comic books, I mean, one of the best things on earth for sure. Alright, so moving on here, how yes, how big do you want your collection to be? Wow. There's no limit. There is no limit at all. I'm at about probably 7,000. Obviously, I have not counted. And it just keeps growing. And I'm a collector. You know, there's not one thing that I would be content with. You know, I think hopefully when I get older, you know, I want to get financially stable to where I can afford more of like some old Silver Age stuff, even some Golden Age, if ever. But you know,
and Golden Age.
That's what I said. Yeah, and Golden Age, if possible. But even, you know, as comic books evolve, as these storylines evolve, you know, I'm gonna follow. Like the Rebirth is something I haven't, besides what I get in the mail through subscription, Spider-Man, Star Wars. There's not really something that I pick up every week or every month or, you know, every other week. The Rebirth stuff, I've been on it, and that's the first time I think in a long time, besides my couple of mail subscriptions, that I've been just picking up. So, you know, I'm intrigued and optimistic about where comic books will go in the future, and I'm gonna keep collecting, you know. So like I said, I'm a collector. I collect Transformers, I collect toys, baseball cards, sports cards. So definitely. So yeah, guys, I mean, for this piece of the video, I think that answers all the questions that he wanted. Now we're gonna go into the tour of my little comic book lair. And the first video I did on YouTube was kind of a video of just showing my room. So we're gonna kind of do a little bit of that again, and I'm gonna have a little bit of help this time, so hold tight. All right, guys, I'm here with AntMan, and he is going to lead us into the lair. As you can see here, we have walls that have yet to been finished. But this is the door. Obviously, as you can see here, no bullying at any time. Right, AntMan?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Are you ready to take us on the tour?
Yes.
Okay. Here we go.
This helmet really doesn't fit.
All right. So what do we got going on in here, AntMan?
Well, there's comic books everywhere.
Everywhere?
Well, mostly everywhere. That's really what this room is
Where
about.
do you have comic books?
Yep.
Where's your comic books?
2 boxes.
All right.
These are journals.
What's your favorite superhero?
Flash.
Flash. All right. AntMan is a huge fan of the Flash, just so you guys know. All right. Well, what's your favorite comic book of all time? Or maybe a favorite one that you have or you read?
I really don't have one.
What are the ones you've been reading? You like those?
Oh. Teen Titans.
Teen Titans. Big fan of Teen Titans. All right. What do we got going over here? Minecraft. All right.
There's a friend.
Is that your favorite game or?
No.
No? What's your favorite game? You don't know? What's a favorite one, like right now, that you've been playing that you really like? Dark Knight, or what is it called? Arkham Asylum, and all the Batman games. So okay. All right. Okay, guys. Well, thank you. So, as AntMan over here said, oh, what are you showing off? Lightsabers. That's right. So we got some Star Wars stuff. This is the Star Wars section, and some lightsabers, of course, and then obviously most of the comic books. So over here we got some toys. Transformers. I'm a big Transformers fan, so as you can see, my Transformer collection here. Definitely. And then we got the kids' toys. It's not just my hangout. This is definitely our room to do what we do in here. So we got action figures and all the bags on the walls. We got Transformers down here. And then as you can see, the walls are decorated. We got some DC covers on the walls over here. Here we got some Marvel covers, and then of course Amazing Fantasy 15. There's a little lounge chair for when we're reading. So basically, this has been our room for about a year now. I built this in our garage last summer, and I built this shelving unit by myself from scratch, made the blueprints and everything. It was my first kind of big job doing something like this, so it could have been a little better, but you know, it works. So this is my collection here, and these boxes in here are my oldest son, who's playing Minecraft right now. And for me, I'm probably at about 7,000 comics right now. Just to kind of go through, and you know, not to make this too long, but I'm starting to label all my stuff. Like this right here is franchises, so I got these organized by the actual franchise. So like I got Red Sonja, Marvel, as well as the newer Dynamite runs, and then Star Wars, from the old Marvel to the, you know, current Marvel stuff, to some Dark Horse stuff. And then I think we got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle stuff back here, if you can see that. And that was one of my big things as a kid. And as you can see here, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles adventures from the 80s. That was one of my first comics that I ever started collecting. These are franchises as well, as you can see, Transformers. And then we go into some independents. This is all Image right here. That's kind of tight. I'm going to have to get another box for my Image stuff. So some old 90s Image stuff to, you know, obviously some newer stuff. And then I'm going to try to attempt to bring some of those out. As you can see, this if you can see down in there, this cabinet fits long boxes. So most of these are either long boxes or 2 short boxes in one section. Over here we got more independent stuff. So the way I organized these independents was by actual publishing company. So we got, I put all my, like, let's see here, like Dark Horse is together. All my Dynamite is together, and so forth. Goes back. All right. And then we got some Spider-Mans. This right here, all the way back, is basically your 1990s McFarlane run, all the way to when it turned into Peter Parker, Spider-Man, and then into Spectacular, I think it was Volume 2 of Spectacular Spider-Man. This is the complete run of Web of Spider-Man. It almost all fits in one box, except for these are all the annuals. Starting from number 1, Web of Spider-Man. So I got that whole run from 1 to, I believe, is it 129 or 149? I think it's 129. And then, that's not all my Spider-Mans. You guys watch my videos, big Spider-Man fan. So down here, we got DC. So this is all pre-New 52 stuff for DC. And then I have a lot of Superman stuff. So, you know, you got Action Comics, Superman. So that's that. And then we got more DC down here. And then what I did, instead of just keeping it all together, I separated boxes for anything New 52 to present. So that's all separate. And then we got more New 52 here. My Wonder Woman run, which I'm trying to complete right now. Convergence stuff. Oh, this was more pre-New 52 stuff. I just have so much Superman stuff that I had to put it in another box. Alright, and then everything else here is Marvel. So, this is where it starts. I start with my A's, or well, my numbers. And then Avengers. I hope you guys don't mind that I'm not actually pulling these books out, because, you know, I don't want to make this a half-hour long video and go over every little thing that I have. You know, again, just kind of showing you guys off, showing you guys just in general what I've been collecting over the years. Captain America, I have a huge Captain America run. There's number 101, which is my oldest that I have. So those are all in alphabetical order, and then you come to my Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man run, starting with the Marvel Milestone, Amazing Fantasy 15. I have like the whole run from number 150, or excuse me, 250 to like, I don't know, 400 and something, besides 299 and 300. More Amazing Spider-Man. And then it goes into X-Men. I got a ton of X-Men stuff. This is all X-Men, and then I have the whole run of X-Factor. Guys play video games back there. I have the whole run of X-Factor from number 1. I got a couple issues of number 1 all the way to 147. It's pretty awesome. This is all like X-Men family related stuff in the ABC order. Cable, Excalibur, stuff like that. And then more Spider-Man. Here's my Peter Parker Spider-Man, Spectacular Spider-Man run, which is pretty solid. Starting from like I don't know, somewhere around here, 98 or something. I think I have every issue until, shoot, I don't know. Way back, you know, like late 90s. Till it ended, actually. So, and then just kind of like my DC stuff, I separated anything from Marvel Now to present. So as you see there, anything 2012 present, Marvel Now. I separated alphabetically, and I have a good run of just random Marvel Now stuff. Avengers, Captain America, and lots of Fantastic Fours there. To my other box, and I just keep adding and adding to this, of course. Secret Wars, Superior. Again, I have the whole run of Superior Spider-Man, all the way to the whole run of the next volume of Amazing Spider-Man until, you know what, issue 18, and then they just did it again. You know, after Secret Wars, or the whole Renew Your Vows. Some 2099, Spider-Man and Deadpool, Spider-Woman, and then I got a whole bunch of X-Men at the back of there, and I got a whole another box of X-Men stuff here that I needed to make room for. I have almost a full run of all new X-Men, and yeah, so man, I hope that didn't take too long, and I hope I wasn't too fast at the same time. So that's that, guys. So for Dawn, for, you know, where I, you know, come to just get away from it all and hang out and, you know, collect my books. And as you can see, these are just some that I haven't organized yet up here. I mean, I could just sit in this chair, sit in here and read and, you know, hang out with my kids and play video games or watch. We got, you know, Blu-ray on the PS3. And hang out. This is it. So I'm so thankful to have this room. Before, you know, I'm a musician, and I just kind of crammed my stuff in our back room with my studio equipment, as well as my baseball card collection. I'm a huge collector just of many things, and I have a closet full of baseball cards. So to have this room just separate away from that, it's been amazing. And you know, definitely thankful for the opportunity to have this space. All right, so we got a little junior collector here. So I'm just gonna ask you a few questions, buddy. So what? Who's your favorite superhero?
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. Me too, hands down, definitely. What about DC? Who's your favorite DC superhero or villain? Doesn't have to be the hero.
Batman.
Batman. I'd have to say Wonder Woman, but Batman's up there too, definitely. Wonder Woman would be my favorite DC superhero. So, okay, so Batman for DC. All right, and what are your favorite books at the moment? Like, what are you reading right now? Come on. What did you downloaded the digital version of something. Detective Comics. Do you know what number it was? Golden Age, though, right? From the 40s, right? So he's going back and he's reading, buying the digital copies of the old Detective Comics going way, way back. So that's pretty cool. And we've also been reading together. We've been kind of saving up our money and buying the trades of the New 52 collections. So we've been reading the Action Comics, the Wonder Woman, and the Detective Comics of those two. So, yep, and Batman, exactly. Any other favorite comic book right now? What's your favorite superhero movie that you've seen? What's your number one favorite? What's one of your favorites? Come on, you tell me all the time. Didn't you? Well, what did you say? Avengers? No. What's your favorite Marvel one? What's one of your favorites?
Oh yeah, I think Iron Man 3.
Iron Man 3?
Yeah.
That's a good one. Yeah, okay. All right. How about you, AntMan over there? What's your favorite superhero movie?
But any kind of superhero?
Any kind of superhero movie. Come on. Clock's ticking, boy.
Avengers 2.
All right. Avengers 2, Age of Ultron. Good stuff, guys. I would have to say my favorite, Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, that's my second.
All right. Well, thanks for sharing, guys.
My second is Civil War.
Okay, that was a good one, too.
My third is Guardians.
All right. So we are here with Thor. And Thor has a special guest. So introduce us to your special guest, Thor.
This is my mom.
Okay. What's your mom's name?
Deborah.
All right. So you got some questions to ask her? Okay. Well, stand a little over here more. Well, I need... No. Here, go get... Here, right here. Stand right over here. There you go. All right. You're Mr. Interviewer now, so... All right. What kind of questions you got for her?
How long have you and Daddy been together?
Well, we've known each other since we were 12 years old. And we've been together since we were about 18 or 19. We're now, what, in our 30s?
25.
No. So, do the math there.
Yeah, okay, next question.
15 years? I don't
15 years.
know.
What do you think about comic book movies and TV shows?
I like the superhero movies. You know, like Thor.
Yeah.
I like that movie. I like Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah. I have never really read comic books before. It's all new to me. But I definitely like going to see the movies. So.
All right, Thor, what else you got?
How do you feel about Daddy's hobby?
I think that it's a good hobby to have. Yeah, that's a great hobby to have. And it's a really nice room. And I like everything you guys got going on here. I mean...
Any more questions?
Yep. Do you think he is addicted, and do you mind it taking up space?
Well, you guys have your own room for it, so it's okay. And yes, I do think he's addicted.
Yeah, I need meetings. All right, buddy. You got any more questions?
No.
That was awesome. Good job.
Good job.
Are you going to be a professional journalist now?
Cool.
All right. Say thank you, Deborah.
Thank you.
Say thank you, Mommy.
Thank you, Mommy.
All right. Back to Minecraft.
Bye.
All right, guys. So that just about wraps up this fun, little, long, extended video for you guys. I had a lot of fun. Dawn, thank you so much. This was an awesome contest. So everyone else, I'm putting a link in to Don's channel. I'm sure you guys know who he is and where to find him. Definitely subscribe if you're not. Do a video, enter this contest. I thank you guys for taking the time to watch. And again, Dawn, thank you so much again for allowing us this opportunity.
Daddy?
Thank you much. Until next time, guys.